So what he's referring to that, he's talking about what I think what he's talking about is what I refer to as the federal fiscal financing fiasco, the 4F scenario,
Yep.
which just doesn't seem to be getting better. You look at this latest budget that the Republicans have proposed, and you go, my God, it's, if you use real accounting, real assumptions, realistic assumptions, you're looking at a deficit that's going to increase by $30 trillion over the next 10 years. If you don't, assume that the 2017 Trump tax cuts go away, which they probably won't, for example. And then you get all the, no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, they're going to raise apparently the mortgage deduction limit up to 40,000, and so it's I guess maybe that's property tax deduction, but a lot of goodies being thrown at it, and some of these are campaign promises that Donald Trump made, but they are completely irresponsible from a budgetary standpoint, unless there was a time, Hugh, not that long ago, where we thought Doge might be maybe a trillion, never believed 2 trillion. Uh, and then you had, how much are you going to get from tariffs? That could have been an offsetting windfall. But I don't know. I mean, do you think that there's going to be significant tariff revenue that actually comes into the U.S. Treasury coffers?
Well, I think we're thinking about it incorrectly. That the malaise, all of the malaise was the acceptance of disequilibrium. Okay. Economics is pretty lame, but at its most entertaining, it is the examination of a system seeking equilibrium. And typically, the drama comes because the system is far from equilibrium, and the narrative is we ponder on the return to equilibrium. But there is a constancy in the need to seek out and to gravitate towards the equilibrium. Okay. Now, this is a debate that goes back more than 100 years. This is the malaise of the gold standard. We could call it the sausage standard, but there was a monetary standard. And it was a standard which was designed to foster equilibrium. Like the greatest sin in an economic system are trees that grow to the sky. Trees kind of go that way, but there are limitations. Again, there's mean reversion, et al. There was a flaw in the gold system. But before doing the flaw, what was the system? The system was the exchange and disintermediation of gold reserves between sovereign trading partners. And the gold represented high-powered money. And as a sovereign, if I'm doing correct things, if you will, if I am collecting claims on the rest of the world's prosperity, then the rest of the world is sending me high-powered money, which sits as a liability in my private banking system, which then encourages my system to take more risk and to add assets to the banking system, which are loans, credit creation. And that credit,
which was basically the U.S. in the 1920s, right?
I'm discussing U.S. in 1920s, yes. U.S. 1920s would be deficits to GDP would be surpluses to GDP would be comparable with modern China.